Yeah, g'day. This is a review for the KSC CZ-75 gas blowback pistol. Here's the beast here. It's got quite a bit of weight to it, very good weight, nice heft. You have a good positive feel when you're using it. It doesn't want to wave around the place like some of the lighter ABS pistols. The scale is apparently exactly 1:1. I'm not sure how accurate all the measurements are, but it certainly looks like a lot of the illustrations of the real steel. It's got some nice semi-realistic looking trademarks along the top with the old CZ logo and model 75 Cal 9mm para written on it. And as far as function goes, it's pretty close to the real steel. It slide locks back on an empty magazine. It has a slide release up the front, and the hammer remains cocked back. It can be lowered to a half cock position, just like the real steel. If you lower it to the full cock position, whilst it's got a loaded charged magazine in it, it will fire, because in the fully forward position the hammer impinges on the valve and releases gas. One thing I learned very quickly was not to try and fill the gas whilst the magazine is in the gun and the hammer is in the forward position. It is very dangerous. It vents the gas straight out through the system. If there is a BB already in the breech or left in the breech or in the magazine itself, like for example, you've loaded the magazine, you've gassed it up, you've put it into the gun, you've gone out and fired, you've run out of gas, and you know there's probably still some BBs left in there, you just want to quickly gas up, put the gas bottle to the bottom of it, it will discharge. So it's rather important to be safety conscious there, and at least cock the hammer back, or better yet, eject the magazine, load it with gas before putting it back in. The next thing about it is the magazine release is actually quite sensitive. I call it pretty much hair trigger, and I have found that to be an issue in nylon holsters when the gun slops from side to side as you're running around the field. The magazine release smacks across to the side of the magazine of the holster, and out comes the magazine. I've lost the magazine out playing on the field, had to go chasing after it and find it afterwards. Kind of took the enjoyment out of the game, especially when I drew my pistol, went to fire and discovered that it had no magazine in it. Aside from costing me a few points, it also kind of took the edge off the game. Here's a manual safety on the side here with a clear red mark when it's in the fire position, and nice visual warning that it's engaged. Because it operates with a half cock thing, it can be I normally carry it on the field half cocked, safety off, so that it fires in double action mode. When you pull the trigger from that mode, there was a distinct long, well not long, but a distinct longer and stiffer pull than when it's fully back cocked like that in single action mode. It does not take a lot to pull the trigger when the hammer's fully back. So it can be carefully lowered to the half cock position and carried like a true double action pistol. The gun, the CZ is also one of the unusual guns and that it is designed to be safely carried in condition 1, which is safety on and hammer fully cocked back. I don't carry it that way because of a rather embarrassing incident in the game when I drew the pistol and went to use it and completely neglected to take the safety catch off. Once again, that cost me. I was the one that got hit and had to call out and respawn, not the person that I was targeting. So I generally tend to carry half cocked and safety off. Performance wise, hop up is an issue. If you're trying to just use it for target shooting at moderate ranges, you'll find that the hop up causes it to shoot consistently high, even when it's dialed down to its absolute minimum. This is not so much of a problem when you're out playing in a field where your target may be some considerable distance further and quite a bit larger than a paper target for target shooting. So when you're going up against human-sized targets in an airsoft skirmish, the hop-up's not so much of an issue, especially since a hit anywhere on the body is enough for a score in airsoft skirmishes, whereas when you're doing target shooting you're aiming for a little tiny 10 ring. You don't need the same accuracy when you're skirmishing. So pluses, its heft and balance, very good. I like the properly functioning 3-position hammer and double action, single action fire. Minuses, the magazine catch is way too hair trigger for my liking and does not go very well with nylon holsters or casual carry, like throwing it in your pocket. It would do the same thing. It would sooner or later bash against your body and drop the magazine out. Solution to that, got a Phobos CZ-75 holster. I found that it doesn't quite fit the KSC model exactly. It would bind going into it. The Phobos holster came with a rather lengthy discourse on how you should never ever modify one. Do not alter it in any way, shape or form. However, this is an airsoft pistol, not a real steel, so I would never recommend doing what I did for carrying real steel, but I drilled out the rivets at each end. It turned out I only needed to drill out the front rivet, and now it engages. If you have a look and see how far split that front section is with this in place, you'll get an idea of exactly how badly this KSC CZ-75 fits in the Phobos holster. I do not know if that's because there is a inaccuracy in scale for the Airsoft CZ-75 compared to the real steel. I know that my Tokyo Marui Springer has the same problem in exactly the same way, so it could be a fault with that, or it could be a fault with the Phobos holster. I have absolutely no idea, but I've modified it for skirmishing, not for real steel pistols. And with the CZ-75 and the Phobos holster, the magazine release is not ever in any risk of hitting the side of the holster and ejecting the magazine. In fact, it's quite clearly protected by the plastic of the holster itself. So that was my solution to the issue, or my permanent solution. Earlier on, my solution was to just use electrical tape to hold the magazine in place so that if it did get bumped, it wasn't going to fall out. So if you've got a nylon holster, just stick some electrical tape around the bottom of the magazine to hold it in. So in conclusion, it's a very nice, well made gun, far better suited for skirmishing than for target shooting, and I fully recommend it. Quite enjoy having it and using it. I certainly hope you enjoyed this review and have taken something away from it that might help you. Have a good evening. Bye.